Welcome back to Willie Simmons Live. I'm Melvin Beal, and I'm here along with Serenity. Serenity, you're on the cross-country team. You got a lot of stuff going on, but start right there with the name, Serenity. What did your mother say that was all about?
So actually, it was my father who gave me the name, and he was just kind of walking around, and the Serenity Prayer is what popped up. So, the infamous God grant me the serenity. And so that kind of resonated with him. Is like, when I have a daughter, that's what I'm going to name her, because God granted me that serenity.
Did he pick the middle name as well?
No, so the middle name, actually, my mother has the same one as Tenise, and it's just Tennessee with the double letters taken out. And so my grandmother gave her that middle name, and so she passed it down on to me. And so, yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty interesting because your mother, a career-long Navy sergeant? What's her position in?
So she is a United States commander in the Navy. She's been in for the last 26 years, and she is also a FAMU Rattler. She commissioned from the same unit that I'm in currently 20 years ago.
Wow.
So I came over here to do the same thing and follow in her footsteps, and my goal in life was to surpass her in rank, but the longer she stays in, it makes it a little harder for me to do so, but I'm still staying strong, and so is she with her career.
Well, I heard that Florida A&M wasn't your first choice.
Yes, sir. So technically it was, but wasn't. I know I did a lot of visits with the Naval Academy, and so I got to go to the summer STEM programs, the candidate visit program, the summer seminars as well. And so it kind of came down to like my junior and senior year, and I was like, college, those 4 years are very important for your development as a person, and so the individuality of it is what kind of really brought me here, because at the Naval Academy, everybody is designed to be the same person, and I need to figure out who I am as a person myself. And so legacy and tradition is also very important to me, and since both of my parents are both alumni from FAMU, I felt it was very important to carry tradition on as well to also attend FAMU.
Now, it helped. Didn't you receive a scholarship from the Navy? How much was it?
So it's a $180,000 scholarship. It is the national scholarship for the Navy, which is NROTC, which other branches have it as well. Army, Air Force, Marines, all branches have it. And so essentially it pays for the 4 years of school as well as for FAMU, because the HBCU has a trademark where as an incentive for going for HBCU, they'll pay for your room and board as well. So I got the Navy scholarship, and then FAMU on the back end gave me the room and board for all of school to be paid for.
Wow. I heard you were thinking about giving up track after high school, but your interests, I guess, re-emerged. Talk a little bit about your decision to compete in cross country here at Florida A&M.
Yes, sir. So originally I did want to stop because I was like, I'm retiring. I'm hanging up the jersey at 18. It just seems like a lifelong thing. But, my parents kind of sat me down. It's like, this is an opportunity not many people get to have, to compete at a collegiate level and then NCAA D1 school on top of that. And why not take your talents to FAMU while you're at it? You're taking everything else over there. So I went ahead and I just honed my experiences that I learned and wanted to try a new entity. It couldn't hurt the cause, quite honestly. And so here I am today to be able to do the same thing, and whoever else had the same idea, inspire them that, hey, if you at least can say that you did it, and I'm the one who was able to do that. So
tell us a little bit about cross country, the sport. I'm familiar with it, but it's all out about times and how you place and what have you. Talk to us a little bit about your training for it and just cross country in general.
Okay, so the way I like to put it is cross country is the most individualized team sport you're ever going to get. I was like, yes, it's about your times and it's about your placements, but it comes down to your team at the end of the day, because if you don't have those 5 runners, you're not running at all.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's just like basketball. You need 5 people on the court. You need 5 people to run cross country. And so it's a different type of community that kind of comes around. When people think about the word running, they automatically think about sprinters. When they hear the word track team, they're thinking about your sprinters, you have your hurdlers, and then all the other techniques. No one thinks about people who run 20 laps on a track.
Right. Right.
So cross country on the back end of it, you have your 5Ks and your 6Ks, you have 4Ks. It's all of a range, but it's the mileage that kind of throws people off guard. Like, oh, why would you ever want to run 3 miles? Well, I don't. Right. I was like, I don't like to run. I just know how to do it. Okay. And it's like, but the idea of everybody's running these 3 miles, you can't avoid the mileage, but how you can compete in the way that you do your competition is kind of what drives me to know more. Like, what do I need to do in this particular course to get me to where I need to go? Because I could run a flat course and run some time, and I can run a hilly course and run probably a faster time. You just never know. So.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about that, because you're in ROTC and you're participating in cross country. How do you balance that student athlete ratio.
Yes, sir. So, you have your triathletes. I'm just a tri-student, and I do everything. Not a try-hard, but I definitely am involved in a lot of things. And people wonder, why do you do it? I'm like, well, if not me, then who? The cross-country team or the track team as a whole have never seen somebody from the ROTC side. And in the back end, the ROTC, they've never seen an athlete to go with it. So I'm kind of the bridge that goes for both organizations I've been involved with. And I kind of get the leeway of getting to do my PT counts as my practice time, so I get to go there. But the events that I have at ROTC, I'm still marching up to the track in my uniform on Thursdays, representing in both places. So it takes a lot of pride on my part, but a lot of people who happen to know me, like, hey, I know that military girl. Hey, I know that track girl. She's a part of my organization. She's part of this. So it brings a lot of joy to see that for other people, like, it is possible to be able to do so. So that's the big thing.
Well, we certainly thank you for joining us, and much success in the rest of the career.
Yes, sir.
You're watching Willie Simmons Live here, brought to you by Hyatt House.